So how are iOS apps built? Okay, so now we are going to talk about the workflow, how we are going to start a project and how we are going to push that app onto the app store. Okay, so first here we need an IDE or a code editor which is called Xcode. Okay, so to make an iOS app we need a code editor which is called Xcode. Now for making Android apps we have Android Studio, and for making iOS apps we have Xcode, and for web development we can use any sort of code editor like Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text, etc. Okay, so what do we do in this Xcode? So we need a programming language here to write the code, okay, to program the app, how the app should work, how the app should look, how the app should feel. Okay, so for that we need a programming language as well. So what programming language are we going to use here is Swift language. So Swift is a programming language here which we are going to use to make iOS apps. So before we also used Objective C language, but that language was used a long time ago, I think some 5 years ago, I don't remember that time gap. But yes, now we are going to use Swift language. Okay, now this is the official programming language to make iOS apps. Now we all know that in programming languages we have variables and constants, for loops, if else statements, etc. So how are we going to use those things to make an actual app here, the working application? So for that what Apple did is they made frameworks here. So basically we have two frameworks here, Swift UI and UI Kit. So before we used UI Kit to make apps, now we are using Swift UI. So now all the new apps are going to be built on Swift UI, and the old apps which were made using UI Kit are also now transforming into the Swift UI. So what is this Swift UI, what is this UI Kit? So these things we are going to talk in the next video. So in the next video we will be going to talk about the pros and the cons of these two frameworks. Why should we use Swift UI, why should we use UI Kit, what are the differences between these two things, and which one is easier to learn, which one is more efficient, which one is more editable. Okay, so these all of the things we'll be talking in the next video. So now we know that we need Xcode here to write some code and to make iOS apps, and to write the code we need programming languages is called Swift, and here we need framework to make an actual app which can be Swift UI or UI Kit. Okay, now to coming on to the next step, you have made your app. Now you need to publish that app onto the app store. Okay, so now here comes the major part. So you have built an app, it's on your local system. Now you need to enroll or log in onto the Apple developer program. So what is this Apple developer program? This consists of three things here. So the first one is App Store Connect. So what this is, you need to connect your Apple ID with the App Store, and you need to upload your application onto it. So what happens is App Store is not like any other Play Store which does not have any rules or regulations. Anyone can upload onto the Play Store, right? So Apple has some rules and regulations related to the App Store, and our app need to satisfy those rules and regulations, and then only we can upload our app onto the App Store. Okay, so this all the privacy thing, like the rules and regulation things, the checking will be done with the help of this App Store Connect. Okay, and the second thing is Test Flight. I think you have already used some applications which are in beta versions. So beta version is a thing like the total app is not ready or not published onto the Play Store, but yes, some people who are like early users can install that app and use it and give feedback. That is not the completed app, it may have bugs, it may have many errors. So the customers or family friends can use that beta version app and give you the feedback. So that is nothing but the Test Flight here. And the third thing which is provisional importer. So what happens is your application have a separate ID, or you can say like a unique ID, and in the provisioning portal you tell that I I'm the developer of this application, like I Mubashir, I'm the developer of this application, so that any other random developer does not claim that okay, this is my application, I want to remove this application from the Play Store, or I need to do some changes with this app. Okay, so for the privacy and the security sort of things, we have this provisioning portal. So the unique ID and the Apple ID or your name, everything you will be giving here while you have created your project. Okay, and while building your application also you can change this. And the last step here is to publish your app onto the App Store. See, in this video, we are not going to talk about the designing or the testing stuff, how the design is made, how it will be passing towards the coder or the programmer, everything. We're not going to talk about that. We'll discuss about that in any other video. So here, in this video, we got to know that Xcode Design Editor, we use that to make iOS apps. In that, we need to code our application in Swift language and using any one of the frameworks, Swift UI or UI kit. Now your total app is made. Okay, now the half part is done. Now the half part is to publish your app onto the App Store. So now after doing this, enrolling into the Apple developer program and doing all sort of privacy and security stuff, you need to pay some fees so that the App Store show your app onto it, right? So this is the structure, or this is the flow, how we start our project and how we post or upload our app onto the App Store. So before becoming an actual iOS developer, you need to know some basics like these things, so you don't have any doubt at the end how to publish, what to do, what not to do. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed the video. In the next video, as I told you, we will be discussing about Swift UI and UI kit. I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.